Is the giant Pacific octopus. They're really amazing animals, like their name says. They're huge. They're the biggest octopus in the world. The largest one they ever caught was about 10 meters from tentacle to tentacle and about 600 pounds, so yeah, they're massive animals. They're also really interesting because they're very smart. These octopus are the most intelligent of all invertebrates. They have a lot of sort of curious behavior. They're really hard to contain in an aquarium because they get bored of being in a sort of stagnant, non-changing environment. There's a lot of interesting stories about octopus, but people try to keep them in. The one up in Victoria here, there was a display with a tank with an octopus in it and another tank with fish in it beside it, and they found that these fish kept disappearing overnight, and nobody could figure out why. And then eventually somebody stayed behind and watched to see what was going on, and they found that the octopus in its tank, once everybody had left the building, would squeeze itself through the tubing out of the tank. And who's got the orcas tube with them right now? Does anybody have that out there? Just hold it up for a sec. The octopus is an invertebrate, so it has no hard parts on its body except for a beak that it uses to eat with, and the beak is about the same size as that orca's do. So anything that the octopus can fit that through, it can squeeze itself through. So they squeeze through these little tubes. This one squeezed itself out of its tank and then jumped into the other tank beside it, ate all the fish, and then found its way back and hid before the aquarium opened the next day. They also had a display with a big display in the Vancouver aquarium that had one of these octopus in it and a bunch of larger sharks. And nobody saw that as a problem, but again, the sharks would disappear overnight. And they videoed it to see what was happening, and the octopus are quite good at camouflaging themselves. And what they found this one was doing was camouflaging itself to the bottom of the tank and waiting for the shark to swim above it. And when one would swim over, it would turn bright red and come up and grab the shark and strangle it and kill it. So interesting behaviors. Even between octopuses, they often show very different behaviors. Some of them are, well, there's been one that was a bit of a beggar. It would sort of extend its tentacles out like this with the suckers up and beg for food if it was hungry, and if it wasn't fed, it would turn bright red and zip back and forth in its tank until somebody paid attention to it. There's even sort of aggressive, mean ones that will reach on and try to pull somebody feeding them into the tank, and so you have to be careful of this if you're diving, because they will sometimes try to reach out and grope at people, and they can pull out the regulator from the divers. If anybody would like to